Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And I think this will be actually the last, or this will be the first review of the new year. And what a great way to start with some fantastic figures I got to end the year. And of course, I'm sure you all recognize these from the Machine Robo Universe line, UnitRoborn. This is UnitRobo Helicopter Ice Cream and High Speed Train Cheese. As you know from the Unit Reborn line, they just combine some really weird and abstract items together to make robotic, bipedal robots or animal based robots, stuff like that. There are some shorts you can look up online to see it in action, but yes, this is part of the Machine Robo line, which means this is part of the line that gave us GoBots. These are spring loaded figures with minimal transformation. And I find myself saying this a lot, but I gotta say it this time. I think these are my favorites. I think these are the best ones they've done thus far. There's been like a few missteps here and there, but this is quality. I mean, these are fun. Yeah, they look strange, but uh, they're just fun toys. And again, there's a I haven't done my best of the year yet. That might be out before this, but let me just say, right here, these are the one of the best toy lines I've handled in 2022. So yeah. I got them from Amazon Japan. They are available there now. That's where I recommend getting them in terms of price and speed. Uh, you don't have to worry about delays getting them after everybody else. You won't get them like day one as in Japan retail, but you know how that is even with U.S. retail. But you will get them sooner than other online retailers. So what we will do is we will pause and come back and take a closer look at helicopter ice cream. Okay, so here's helicopter ice cream. I do like the blue motif. You have some darker, like a sky blue with a lighter turquoise blue. The ice cream here, very nice. Has the Unit Robo logo right there at the base. This looks like to be some sort of chocolate chip. Although it's blue, I mean, I don't think it's mint chocolate chip, and it's certainly not vanilla. So, and I originally thought this might be shaved ice, but it's ice cream. So, oh, and got the little tail right there, so that's kind of cool. Let me just fix that up right there. Make sure everything's lined up. So, really nice, really cool. Now, the helicopter, I think, is the star of the set. And I think this is the best vehicle that they've done. I mean, there haven't been a lot of vehicles, but right off the bat, I have to point out on the side here, not only do we get the Unit Reborn logo, it also says rescue. I gotta think that that's a little wink and a nod to the classic Machine Robo rescue line. That was the Machine Robo line from the early 2000s that Bandai was considering bringing over to the U.S. until Hasbro on the Universe Ratchet release tampoed Robot Rescue or Robo Rescue on it, and thus they wouldn't have been able to use the name. Um, it was a very popular line, and I think it was the line right before Mugenbein. So, and keep in mind, after Mugenbein, I don't think there was a Machine Robo line until now. So, it's great to have it back. Unfortunately, the rotors do not spin freely. They are on detents, which is kind of cool for posing, and it's like that because of the transformation. But I was kind of hoping that maybe there was like a spring or something or a push button that would like spin it on a gear. But for the price, I could understand why they didn't do that. And for those of you wondering, I would actually say looking at both of these would be in the deluxe price point of the Unit Reborn line. You know, there's like the larger ones and the smaller ones. I would put these as the larger ones. Now, the other thing that's cool is you have landing gear, and you can actually rotate it back for a swooshing flight mode. That is actually part of the transformation, but I do think that's kind of cool because the full transformation is you rotate the landing gear all the way up. So you get, but the fact that there's a detent that lets it stay at that level, that's kind of cool. So yeah, go ahead, rotate that up, even the blades out that they're facing parallel like that or perpendicular to the main fuselage. Unfortunately, the one little complaint is on the blade parts, there isn't a locking detent, so they might get knocked a little loose. Then what you want to do is grab the ice cream. You want to have the ice cream facing with the top of the cream facing towards the rear of the helicopter. Plug it in, and it'll flip up. Now, to be honest, one thing with these newer Unit Reborn figures is there's a little more physical transformation you have to do. I don't mind it, but that is something to mention. So just go ahead, fold those panels out to the back, rotate the blades around the cockpit, and if you notice, there's even a natural curvature to the blades that like would fit perfectly around, just like that. So you have the front there. And if you notice the landing gear, they form the feet. There's some nice molded in speaker details. There's your sound, the level details like on an old stereo. More speaker detail there on the inside. Split the tail from the rear and come in right just like this, and it'll rotate down. Then you want to rotate the rotor blade back up. This will form the feet. There you have a little tail. And there you have a Triceratops. That's really cool. I just dug that so much when I saw it. And I was like, really, I mean, first of all, I was really surprised by how they work in the landing gear forming the feet and just the way this folds up. But it's a nice vehicle, has a little heft to it. You know, just a nice solid, not too solid, but a nice chunk of plastic. You know, it has this nice gloss finish. Now, of course, to return it back to its separate modes, fold the rotor blades down, bring the tail section back together. It'll peg here at the tail. Straighten out the rotor blades. There is like a soft detent, but it's not 100% perfect. Close up the front here, and then you'll just pull it off. Fold that section back up, and then go ahead and fold the nose cone, the canopy of the helicopter down, and then bring the rotor blades, the landing gear back down. Now, to be fair, in the instructions, they show you rotating the wheels, the landing gear, after you do the transformation. But there you go. I mean, this is really a fun figure. I dig this line a lot. I find it a lot more fun than the Transformer offerings we've gotten this year. So we'll pause and take a look at high-speed train cheese. Okay, so here's the high-speed train and cheese, as the name is very on the nose. Here's the high-speed train with the UnitRobo logo, and it does have some casters, so it can roll. That is very nice. Ooh, I wonder if it's because of the surface I'm on that it's like making that noise. That's really cool. And here's a nice block of cheddar cheese. I just, it's a wonderful thing. Really just super cool and fun. And now we're to combine it. You want to have the cheese facing with the curved part towards the front of the train. Line up the connectors, press them down, and the front of the train will fly back. The cheese will split open, and then, of course, we do have some extra transformation. Go ahead and fold out the cheese. There are some natural stops for each section, just like so. That reveals more of that level, music level design. And you can, of course, come underneath here, open the mouth. You have some molded in speaker detailing on either side. I think that is meant to be speaker detailing too. I'm not really sure. Or it's just the detailing from the outside of the cheese. But, oh, we had Delilah make a brief cameo. Say Happy New Year, Delilah. But, really cool. It becomes a pterodactyl. The ice cream helicopter ice cream was a triceratops of sorts, so I think that's kind of cool. And I'll mention something here at the end, but this is nice. The cheese actually gives it a little more heft than the helicopter ice cream, so there is that. But to go back to its regular mode, just close up the mouth. Let's fold all these pieces back in. Like I said, there is a natural stop for each section. Close it up. Separate the cheese. And close up the front here. And we're back to our train and cheese. The Japanese do love their train. So I'm not surprised to see that there. Maybe, in the next wave, we'll get a drill tank, because they love their drill tanks too. So there is that. I think we'll pause now, and we'll be back with my final thoughts. Okay, so here's the two vehicles, two robots together, the two sets together. And, okay, one thing I have to mention. In the wave 1, we had a set that formed a Tyrannosaurus Rex. In wave 2, maybe wave 3, we had a set that formed a saber-toothed tiger. The last wave, we had a set that formed a mastodon. Here, we have a set that forms a triceratops and a pterodactyl. And if you're playing along at home, those are the 5 components that make up the original Daizujin, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord. And I wonder if this was like a little wink and a nod from Bandai. I'm not familiar with any of the other Megazords that maybe the other sets made up little. The combined forms were homages there too, but I just think it's kind of interesting. Unless these are the 5 most popular dinosaurs in Japan, who knows? But like I said at the beginning, I think these are the best sets that they've put out thus far. Incredibly fun. Look, Delilah even wants to play with them. Just solid figures. One thing I do have to note, and I think I've mentioned this before, if you do leave them together, the springs do have a tendency to wear out just a touch. So do make sure that you take them apart every now and then, and just be aware of that. These are like kid-friendly toys, so stuff is not that highest quality, but it is, it's also Bandai Japan, and usually I know Bandai for making quality stuff. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions will help communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, and it will make Delilah happy. Right, Delilah? Right. But as I always say, if you can't do the Patreon, it's $1 a month, $12 a year. Your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. So that's about it. I hope you all had a great New Year, a happy New Year, and a great holiday season. This is your old pal Chuck for helicopter ice cream and high-speed train cheese. We will see you next time.